Hello and welcome everybody. Let's see. Sorry for the delayed start. Okay. Hey Russell, hey Suzanne. Hope y'all are doing well. Cannot keep a barn going. My silo is so full. Hey Boop. Hey everybody over on Twitch. Hope everybody is having a wonderful Thursday. Hey Mace. We have a lot of catching up to. This week has been real busy with surprises for everybody. Hey Tammy. So Monday we got the surprise notice. We've got our spring update. We've had changes going on. Hey Tina. Hey Sid. Hey Sydney. Hey Peter. Yes, Peter, I know. I'll try to keep this one a little shorter so you can go back to it. I hope hey Tanya. Thank you, I'm glad to be back. I'm sorry I cannot pronounce your name, but thank you for subscribing and welcome to my channel. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody has had a chance to kind of start to get used to some of the new changes we gotten with the spring update in Heyday. I know everybody was real surprised to see it come. You know, I was. Thought we'd get a little bit more teasing for some of it. Somewhat, Suzanne. I still have a pretty decent migraine. It's like a dull throbbing most of the time, but I'm trying to get through it. They changed and updated my migraine medication, and so I just started today. So, yes, thank you. I'm getting really close to that 500 I wanted to hit. 95 more to go. So I'm hoping to get there. So I'm still not sure on the crop thing. Like at first I was like, ooh, I'm gonna love this crop menu so much. Yeah, Tanya, I know they're working on some of it. Not terribly surprised that Amazon Fire isn't playable. You know, the Android platform has. Hey, Carol, has quite a few issues to begin with, and some devices that could not play whatsoever. Then the Fire's been iffy, you know. The Fire seems to be hit or miss on which version ends up being playable, which one's not, depending on the platform it's used. I don't do a lot of the Amazon Fire. I haven't played on one of their devices since they came out. I tried once, I didn't. Hey, 70s girl. So I liked this, and then I'm like, wait, which, like, I have to remember which one am I getting through, because this is the last page normally, and then here's the first page, and I had to start remembering which way, because I'll get very confused. So I'm like, oh, I was just on that, I want to go back a page, but I'll end up hitting the wrong button because I'm used to this one. And it doesn't help that when you come here, you cycle through the same way we're used to. And the dots are supposed to help. No, Tanya, I completely understand. I'm hoping that, hey, Chris, that Amazon will really step up and work with Heyday into the discussion of where they need to be for how their platform works, how it changes. Hey, Roro, it's just a communication. I think, hey, Shelly, hey, Neon, but we'll have to see how that ends up occurring. It's going to take a lot to get used to. I kind of wish if we were going to go to have this on, that we had it on. I'll call you other CJ. Okay. I wish if we were going to have the crop menu that we had it on all of them. Because then it'd be easier to get used to. So, I think we'll get there. Hey, H-Dale. But it's going to take some time. I'm hoping maybe, we can give them the feedback. We really like the crop menu. Can we just have it on all of them? And then it's one consistent, because that'll make it much easier to get used to, I think, if we're all on the same. So the highlighted arrows, I'm not a big fan of either. But for many players who may just be discovering Heyday and they don't know about YouTube, they didn't get it from TikTok or YouTube in a sense of a streamer or content creator, they just discovered it from like an ad. The idea is that the arrows are more visible and therefore you can more easily know what you're supposed to be doing. Oh, I slide this over to this to make that. I slide this down to plant. A lot of us who know what we're doing, it's on every farm. Every farm should have this. The arrows. And it is, they were there, just they didn't stick out as much. What I find interesting is when you go to like the town, I don't think I have anybody in to feed. I haven't set up for a town task. Let's put. So this has one, so it has 1 arrows. If you get somebody who needs a couple items, let's go to one of the 3s. Oh, 1 item. Which one's gonna have maybe the spa. 2, you have the 2 because both items are supposed to go in. I find that redundant because, hey, cute kitty, you're supposed to be, you're already sliding all that over and it all goes into one. It doesn't matter which one you grab, it grabs both of the items. So I'm not sure about the split arrows. They're a little interesting. And you don't have it because it doesn't show the ingredients so much doing this because it just shows them off to the side. And we still have the jump feature, of course. I like the white arrows more than the yellow, but I think it distinguishes it for the jumping. The screen shouldn't be blurry. It says my stream health is good. And I've got it in the 4K resolution, so it should be coming out in the highest possible. Okay, that idea behind... Okay. Yes, Mace, we can talk about... Hey, Sky, how are you doing? So glad you can join. Thanks for being on Twitch. So, I agree, but I wish it didn't collect, or it collected the item you were jumping to. I like that a lot. You may, Tiny, it may not be that because you're on YouTube, YouTube has now like automatically decided that it doesn't always want to give you the screen quality, so you have to go into like the settings like for video quality and then choose, because it on some people's it automatically downgrades it to the lowest quality, even though my output is for the highest quality. So yeah, so it's very close here on it if you're not careful. And I agree, it's just a matter of changing. So like on my iPad, the buttons actually look much better than on my phone. Where the line is for the level down, that's actually really annoyingly in the middle of my gameplay on my phone, because they're still you making it so that wow, you guys are really fast with chat today. It covers they're trying okay. Ooh, I don't, it's not for me, and I'm not getting an error message. I'm not sure why it seems. I'll try to play with the settings later, especially if other people are starting to have problems. Tanya, I'm really sorry. So sorry. Okay. You guys are really fast with your comments. So I like playing on my tablet more than my phone now, which is annoying because for me, I tend to like having my phone. It's always with me. I can pick it up if I'm at like my kids' appointments, or in the middle of the night I'll pick up my phone to check on something. And because they're trying to keep the game going for older phones that are not edge-to-edge screen, especially on the left side, all of those are going over. So I have those, and then I have a strip of gaming it. The idea behind moving the voucher UI was twofold. One, yes. So it's not that they're shrinking the screen, Russell, especially on the phones. They're trying to make it compatible still with phones that aren't edge to edge. And Russell is doing an amazing job keeping up. So fast. If you need me to turn on slow mode, please let me know and I will. And if I miss something, you guys let me know. I know Chris isn't kind of lurking in the background. Timing wise for her, it's around dinner time. And Sam is in class, so he was not able to make it tonight. So I'm trying to keep up. I've got my mod view going just as well, but we'll see. So the idea behind like the vouchers moving was twofold. One, to make it easier when you go in and shop, especially for decorations and for your pets. It stays on the screen and you can see, so you can plan. As you can tell, I'm going to have to get a bird this month, even though I know a new bird's coming next month. And maybe I'd like those birds more. And I did collect my bird vouchers already this month. I haven't collected any of my XP. But this is to make the shopping easier. So it stays up unless you click on it. I actually do like it because you can make sure you're not overspending and you can plan. But, oh, Cindy, I wish I was that popular. Trust me, I came from another, granted she started in Clash and is now coming to Heyday. I visited her stream and makes me look like I have nothing for followers. So I appreciate each and every one of you. So you guys are having problems with accessing the Switch here. This has not been hard for me on my phone. The vouchers, I don't mind. I don't like the birds. Y'all know I don't like the birds. It is not fully that I don't like the birds. Here's my issue. I hope they keep climbing, Suzanne, and I'm very thankful for all of them. Once I hit 500, I'm going to do a big giveaway. I love doing this. It's not like I don't want to sound unappreciative. I have something that I'm working on for you to get, or for more of you, especially for some of my European followers, to have an additional time. Then, but y'all know my goal is to really have an impact on the game. That's what I want to be able to do. Make sure the community is being heard. Make sure the content, help the content creators be heard or get the right information. This is just a really great way for me to interact with all of you guys and explain some of what I'd like to say insider insight from being in the IT field and working on other mobile games. But it's hard to do when you're not fully behind the scenes. So I'm definitely trying to get there, hopefully getting somewhere. I'm with quite a few people on the birds. One in the birdhouse doesn't fully work right. It works for some people, but not everybody, it seems. Let's see. Carrots are pretty easy to regrow, so like my first set of feeding here, it worked for the birds that I have, it seems, and once they're done I can refeed them. But it doesn't for everybody. They were supposed to fix it, but I don't see that it has. And here's my other problem. This is the only quote-unquote pet house that, one, we have to get the pet for. We also, and I understand the idea of like, well, you're eyeing the farm pass and you're getting the chip tag, so you need to use them, but we're not forced to buy any of the other pets if we don't want them. But we're not getting something equal if we choose not to use them. Which is my biggest problem. Like, I love some of these birds and I think they're very cute to be on the farm. But not all of them. Some of them should be able to be in, like, let's take the pelicans or the herons. They're actually meant to be like more of a fishing. They tend to be in the lake area. Why am I forced to have to buy them if I don't like them? And if I don't want them, why can't I have more than one birdhouse to allow proper feeding? And I understand that, like, that opens another, I guess, door of complaints. If we let birds be in the fishing area or even the town, then why can't we let other pets? But they should just they should raise the limit. Because what if I don't like the bird, but I like a bird they're going to come out with down the road? I would love to see even other animals. Why not get a turkey and have a turkey out here? That's something you would see on a farm. And the maintenance is a different issue, HDL, and the fact that they're working on trying to get the coating so that they have one bucket and one, but it's kind of lacking. We were able to feed them so many more items, but their XP doesn't change. Like, how amazing would it have been if they had this working and let's say I chose, like, I'm going to give them fish. Well, if I'm giving them fish, then why don't I get, since that takes more, why don't I get a little bit extra XP for it or something? We could have so many different things. And they're sticking with the birds because we have that aviary. And, like, the ostrich would have been great in the aviary versus the sanctuary. It's like, oh, we heard you, so we put the ostrich in the sanctuary. Well, you didn't. You misinterpreted what we kind of had to say. Most of us wanted ostriches on here, but we wanted, like, another house or, like, not many of us were asking for more sanctuary animals. And I get that people who are higher up have all the animals like Russell, and they should get stuff. Now we have so many people with birds. We're getting a new bird in April. But we still don't have the feeding fixed. And they are not always on the same cycle. I can feed again because they're not on the same cycle. And I wish they would do that. And maybe if they can fix the feeding cycle, then you'd be able to have it, and where they can't go back and change the feeding systems for like the donkeys. They're not going to be able to go in and be like, okay, we'll give you one spot to feed all of your donkeys, because that's old. But we should be able to have other things. I get they're trying to limit some of the pet spaces because we want more room to decorate. And the concept is great. But now we're stuck with like a bird theme. And some of these birds could be better placed. And I feel like there's a lost in translation from community to not even to content creators, because I hear you guys. Ricky hears you guys. Phoebe hears you guys. Jen hears you guys. Schromer hears you guys. Rude hears you guys. Like, the content creators hear you. Most of us agree with you. I know from a technical standpoint that this is possible. It's even possible to be like, oh, you fed them fish. Here's a bonus XP. Oh, you fed them strawberries. Maybe here's a little something. I would love to be able to see them be able to move some of them, and it would make decorating so much more fun. Phoebe's town tends to have that brick. I don't know if she still has it up because I haven't checked in a while. Her town would be amazing if we could put the horses in it. And maybe that's something they don't want to do because of the way the coding works, but we're already upgrading so much piece by piece. I thought so. Her town is one of my favorite town layouts I've ever seen because of the way it looks. It really does look like the downtown area in the region in which we live. Her and my mom live for that town. It really looks. So I could see the horses wanting to go in there. I could see some of the birds even being cool to be down on, like, the beach. The brick paths were offered in a Diamond Deco pack a few years ago now. I wish they would come back. I have a list of them that I wish would come back. The brick paths are one of them. The fishing area, I have not spent a ton of time in. So I don't have that. My iPad seems to be so much better with the fishing than my phone. So when you guys said, like, when you're going for, like, the gold, or it picks up the gold when you try to swap, I understand because of the overlay, but it seems to be better on my iPad because of the bigger screen. But it does create an issue on my phone. And I understand why it does. Because they're trying to backdate it. The screen size doesn't change on an iPad. Even if you go to an iPad Pro where it's edge-to-edge screen, on the iPads, your home button isn't cutting off part of your screen. On a phone, though, your home button, you have a little bit of screen that goes on either side. And on the top, if you don't have the edge-to-edge ones, you have an older iPhone, even back to, like, and 8, you have the camera at the top, and then you have a little bit of screen on the top and bottom. They can't move this left side over to be in line because the camera area would be where like my hood chat is. So they have to move it forward some to take into account. That's why on your iPhones in particular you have that. My big issue with their this top right corner, they're condensing and they've made smaller, and we got rid of now the voucher, so we don't have like a whole bunch. That's cleaned up one side, but it hasn't helped with the other side. We still have the envelope and the 3 lines, and honestly, to me, they could combine the 2. I mean, this is great to see, but if you put numbers here, just like you do for the, like in settings here, your help and support, if you put a number, people are going to go look for the envelope button. It could be combined. You could have a third one here, and we'd only have one button. So you have edit mode, settings, and community, let's say. That would take one more button away off of this left side, and you could have a little bit more game viewing area for the farms. You could even just shorten the bar a little bit where the task is, but that's a little bit of nitpicking. If you haven't bought anything, one of the bigger updates for the catalog is you no longer are getting it from Alfred. Yes, miss. I'll talk a little bit about that as we go here. So while you are doing all this, you're not going to get delivery from Alfred for any of your purchases. You get an expansion permit, it's just going to automatically go. If you buy burn items, it's going to go. If you buy the deco, it's going to go into your shop. Alfred's not going to come and deliver it. That's really cool that they've done that. It's a neat feature. If you have a full barn here, you can wheat to earn, in your silos got space, you can wheat to earn chocolate bunnies. Not everybody likes this. Here's something that hasn't really been talked about for the event. And I don't know that it was announced very well. There's 2 things. One, usually this is the time I would tell you, if you earn the chocolate bunnies and you have extras, then really, okay, hold on you guys, let me go deal with my thank you, Russell. For some reason, Twitch had gone down. Okay. So if you guys have a full barn, you can wait to get the chocolate bunnies. I don't necessarily recommend it. They also randomly come in drops, supposedly. This is the one time usually I say, hey, by the way, get the... It's actually not a bad price compared to what we've paid in the past for permits. It is a little bit higher for the single ones. It is lower than we normally pay on the 3. We usually have the 1,000 ones. It's not a thing. You guys, we have to pay for the boosters. Usually I say get them, especially towards the end when you have extras. Don't do it this time. It's not worth it. It's not going to give you the free space. I don't know if it's a mistake. Support didn't say. I don't know if it'll be fixed for next time, if it's a new change. I am so upset over it. I have already written support about this when they changed it as quote unquote a mistake in the boat event reward, and we got a booster and we had to then pay to keep the booster, swap it out. But it was supposed to be a reward. I am painting chocolate bunnies. I have done my work for the boat event. I should not have to pay to keep the booster from that catalog, but I believe since we're not getting it delivered by Alfred this time, that's where the problem lies. Don't know if it'll be fixed for the next time. But if you get a booster because you think you're going to get a free spot for something better, hey Owen, you are not. You are going to get a booster that ends up like this, and then you're going to have to either pay to keep it or swap and trash it. Don't spend your chocolate bunnies on it. The other thing that was not really talked about that I have seen, it is, they need to change that. If we have an empty slot, we should be able to say activate and boom, good. Or even if they're all full, hit activate and pay like the 2 or 4 diamonds for the next slot. That needs to come so bad. And there's some tweaking that needs to be done with the boosters. I really had hoped they were going to do that. But you're not getting the, don't waste your money on the boosters if you really don't need that booster, because it's not going to your storage for free like it usually does. The upside of this event, to catch 22, I am very happy that they heard us. And the fact that we wanted events that tied to a real donation. Unfortunately, they have decided to do it with this event. On some of their social media, I believe Twitter, Facebook has it now posted, and Instagram. I have yet to see it on anything else. As a community, if we hit, have a good night at work, Tammy. If we hit 50,000 chocolate bunnies, Heyday is going to make a $50,000 donation to, I have it pulled up here. Oh, I just had it pulled up. Hold on. I'm going to re-pull it up so I can tell you about it from my phone, you guys. So we're going to, their Twitter handle is Fauna Flora Int. They're going to be getting a $50,000 donation. I know, Russell, it has not been shared, and I am kind of breaking this for everybody. So the requirement is, this is reading directly from X or Twitter. Join us in a global milestone as we aim to collect 50,000 chocolate bunnies in the current spring holiday event with other farmers across the world. All you have to do is make as many eggs as possible using the temporary production building and complete boat orders to receive the chocolate bunnies. Those are our reward things. And I will explain after I tell you about this why I'm not as happy about it as it could be. But I've asked like Jen about it. She was unaware of this. I'm not sure that all of the content creators know about this if they were told. So, okay, the rest of it goes on to say, as a token of our appreciation, we will donate $50,000 to at Fauna Flora International, contributing to the preservation of wildlife around the globe. Let's come together and create a meaningful impact. Fauna and Flora, when I go to their Twitter page, or what used to be, they're nature's champions since 1903. We work with local partners, governments, and communities to protect species and ecosystem. I'm sorry, Twitter or Twitch. It's a little hard for me to post this on both. So I'm going to type in the website for Fauna and Flora, and then I'm going to post the link to the tweet or whatever they're called now. I have no idea what they're supposed to be called. So this is the organization. They're out of the Cambridge, UK, the United Kingdom. This is the website for that will be getting the donation. If you want to look more into them, and I will pull the. I'm going to be posting it as far as I know, he will be. He has about 5 hours. This is the link to the Twitter or whatever it's called, the tweet, to their social media post about this to announce it. But it really hasn't been talked about, so I'm excited that we heard this. I love that we're going to be getting a donation to charity for 50,000 chocolate bunnies. That's not bad if you think about it. So if we're going for 50,000 bunnies, let's say each of them on average is worth 20 bunnies to fill. That means we have to fill 2,500 crates, which is really easy to do because normally you get about 4. So we've probably already come close to meeting this, or they've mistyped the number because that's only 625 boats as a community. So I did reach out and ask for further clarification. We'll come back, Shelly. I did ask for further because it says it doesn't say that we have to do 50,000 each. That's not possible. I am not going to get 50,000 because there's no but 50,000 is really easy for us as a community. I'll be really surprised if we haven't hit it by the end of tomorrow even. If we haven't even hit it already today, I'll be a little surprised, but not completely. My issue is the demand for the eggs. We're looking at a lot of dairy and sugar. and then B's. And I've got to do more. We're looking at a lot. So you're probably hiring Rose and Ernest right now for the event. You're growing your, is the slots are expensive. So if they're getting money out of this, it's not so see, like, Owen's spent a lot of money already to open up slots and upgrade. I've seen other people have already done it. Some of the big boaters have. So they're getting quite a few not that I do a ton. I tend to post more for others. There's my Discord. If you're getting just a few boats done, you're contributing, you're helping, and you just need to look at the catalog for what you want. All the deco, I believe, is out on Greg's Farm. We can go take a look. You can see some of the things that are to come, because they actually already have the hats on for next month, if you look. So we can go over to Greg's, but like usually I'm buying all of these boosters in here, especially in the second part, to spend them up. Don't do it. Just plan. Don't waste your diamonds if you don't, just don't. Because they're going to recoup the money then that they're donating. So, like, normally I'd be speeding through these. Actually, I'm not even going to do that boat. I'm going to sink it because I think it's too greedy. But I'm hoping that some of the things they've done and tested means that we're going to work ahead to getting a machine that, while it may change like the bunny top from last year or slight little bits of it, that we're going to keep it and it's going to be able to be expended. But my recommendation, I think this is great. I'm not thrilled that it's tied to what tends to be a diamond or, like a diamond grab. You're spending money on the diamonds to speed it up, to speed the boats up, to get the exclusive. We're spending money on like the booster when it comes out. They had one, was it yesterday or the day before, for the dairy. So they're getting quite a bit of that money back. I would have loved to have seen this donation come when again, like we had a few years ago and got the Wonder Tree, which I keep in my sanctuary. When we did the Wonder Tree, very similar type of things. That would have been more. If they had done this for International Women's Day and had donated to one of those causes that helps, women maybe get education in an area where they normally wouldn't, that would be amazing. But this is tied to an event where we definitely spend a lot more actual money because diamonds cost money. Those super boosters cost money. You can only get them by paying real money or by buying the farm pass. So I am very happy we are doing this. Do not get me wrong. I looked into the place that what they are donating to. I think what they are doing is great. They are a little more, they're not as international as other companies they've donated to before, but I think what they are doing really is good. I'm just not happy about what event it's tied to. I liked when we did them for events like Earth Day, and we were going, or when they held like their green events, and we were doing those. So I don't think that they're going to add more chick vouchers for two reasons. One, there are people who already have them. Two, I think they're still working out on the kinks. More and more people are having complaints like me where the feeding is not correct in the cycle. Or two, they don't want to be forced to get them. And when you don't, if you max them out, like if I were not to spend any of my vouchers the next month, I will get 1 to 2 BEM items potentially. And that is not an equivalency to what the chick vouchers are. Give me an expansion permit. Give me a puzzle piece. I would be excited for that. Let's check out Greg's though for some of the other things. We have so much going on. If you check out the animals, they have the carrot top hat on. This should be, from my understanding, it will be the hat for next month. The carrot fencing, I believe, and some of the, like we're not getting these. I don't know if they're going to end up being diamond deco packs that we'll get with Easter, or if we will end up getting them in potentially another event. I don't have a confirmation date, Cute Kitty. I speculate next week because Easter is on the 31st of the month. But I cannot, there's no confirmation on the date yet for when we're getting Greg's eggs. If they could show up tomorrow, we can go through Easter, or I don't know, Cindy. Your guess is about as good as mine. It drives me absolutely nuts because so many of you that are great with decorating do it beforehand to be in front of, not behind, because you want to have something for the event to light up. And I get that some of the deco coming, like you're showing off last year's and it's going to be cute. But if more people are buying it and having it in an active decoration, more and more people, it'll spill over. This green willow is from one of the spots on the other side of the land. We can go see it online. We still are missing some of the deco from the Derby. I'm not sure how I feel about the cushion table thing here. It's that first 1,000 deco. But it's so cute. They're very carrot themed with the gazebo. Here's 2 of your other big decos that are in the catalog. They're out. This is back, which makes me wonder if potentially maybe this will be in next month's Farm Pass. Oh, Sydney, I completely agree. Like, 100%. There should be. They probably are doing themselves a disservice. This was from last year. This was in the catalog last year. Oh, do you mean this yellow golden one? This is not out. as far as I know. And what I really wish they would do to Greg's Farm is allow you to tap on a deco and get a name. This one's new. There's quite a few. These are as well, or did I miss them last year? Some of these I didn't buy because I wasn't as big of a fan of them. Those little baskets with the eggs. I can't remember if I have it or not. There's just... But Greg's Farm is very cute. I'm surprised that they have as much out for what would potentially I see as some things coming even into next month. Oh, wouldn't it? It should. I mean that's one of my big requests. If we could come to Greg's Farm in particular and tap on a deco, even if it's something that's to come, or even if we're going to another farm and being able to tap on the deco to get the name, as long as you're not... I don't know why I did that one. So I know I can get... Russell's really... Did I pass you, Russell? I know. You're 220. Okay. Where did you lay it at? Oh, there we go. Okay, so it is the one from... Okay, you have it. So it's in the deco, right? The road. Okay. I can open a piece of land on the other side. I just haven't yet. Maybe I should let you guys go and vote. Russell, your farm is always so cute. You guys can see Russell's a great person to go and see like what we've had in the past come out and then what's currently out. I always go for a reference. He usually always puts some of the best ones out. And then I can go, oh, that's not new, check. That's not new, check. That one's new. Okay, where did I miss getting that from? Hey, Juan. But I've put, like, if I came over to Russell's farm, so not on my farm, but when you're visiting someone else's farms, it'd be fun to be able to go click on that piece of deco, that area, and be like, okay, that's what that is. Because the decos go by so many different names depending on where you're trying to look for. And they say they've updated this. I haven't seen it. We're still not getting... This is useless. Useless. It's been a year now. We have never used this one. Anybody want to tell me why? Because nobody answers that. Nobody does. Like nobody's got an answer on it. But they said that in the thing that they've updated this, and I haven't seen really an update to it. We know the movie tickets aren't fixed. We can do them now. They are still, well, if I'm lucky enough to get winter. But they usually have been winter or the Olympics. They said that they were going to put, last year, they said they put the diamond discount slot there because that's where we were going to receive the offers that are in the diamond shop. So either it didn't work to code it yesterday, or they haven't there's definitely some kind of coating off, because we still are using this area. If you were to tell me like the diamond decos that we get for the seasonal couldn't be put here with a number so we could look at it, maybe they're afraid people won't do it. It would be, I just think it would work out better, to be perfectly honest. I know it's only been a year. It's only been a year under the new UI, you guys. Only a year. This gets in my way a lot. The new tapping, if I'm not close enough, that gets in my way. And I do not like the arrows on the axe. And it does okay over here on the crops now when the machete with the fast harvest. But it took me a while. It wasn't wanting to let me fast harvest on my phone at first. So well, okay, so here's my thought. Other than I'm starting to get as many of the snow chickens as I have garden plots, if the issue in the coating is either we're getting winter deco or you're getting hi non-stove. The update is the voucher list on the side. Yes. But last year's update was the UI and getting the discount thing. I do like this. This I still don't like. That's an issue. Yeah, I have quite a few. But which we complained so much about having the garden deco that they added some of those into the yard sale. People were spelling out like stop or an SOS on their beaches because they had so many of the garden plots because it broke after they switched in, I think, May. We lost out on summer. We didn't do great with autumn. Some. And now we have the winter still staying, even though we've moved in. So the movie decos are... There's something that they still must be working on, is my guess, in the coding. Because how it works is you watched an ad, you get the, or not, you get the one, you click yes, you randomly get something. Well, you're placed in like 3 different pools to begin with. How frequently you're going to get deco. Then and that's just from the start. So you already have that. Then you get the randomness of based on your levels it going up. And then you have the frequent, like how much of which are they going to be getting rid of. And there's something definitely broke inside of there. See, I don't have that many snowflakes. So, like, I'm getting a lot of the ice fences though right now. And I don't mind the winter deco. I'll take those over the garden plots any day. But I do, like, I'm missing, like, I would love to get the gazebo. We missed out on that last summer. Yeah, but these 46 ice fences aren't bad because it takes so many ice fences or so many fences to make it. You're like, that's only really 23 like fence. So like, you could say the numbers. So non-stop, you have 47 snowflakes, only 13 fences. So non-stop, you're in a pool where like the algorithm says you're going to get more of this type of deco, where you can see like, I don't get. Oh yeah, where is the tent? Gone. It was supposed to have been in there. It's not. We know that clearly there's something wrong. A lot of you have also posted that you've been getting like requests for. Oh, Streamlabs, be quiet. The request for accept or reject additional tracking. That is not. I want to try to explain it. So when you go in and let's say you watch the ad for the free, it's just wanting to make that more personalized. Potentially, you're going to maybe want to get the game versus maybe getting a game ad that you have no interest in. Maybe it'll be for a game you already have because that's what it is. But by allowing the additional tracking, they're not looking for, they're looking to personalize your experience within Heyday more. And part of that, I'm wondering if it means also tracking some of your purchases. Because originally, for anybody who's been playing long enough, when we used to get personalized offers, not everybody got the same offer. And before we had the store, it's the emojis. And it's supposed to be doing like 10 of them. It's supposed to like stop it. You're completely fine, CJ. You're not spamming at all. You were at 5, but I had it set to 10. I have no idea what the problem is. It's reverted itself. It seems to revert itself back every time I start a new stream. No idea. Streamlabs did a massive update. I have not had time to sit here and play with their like bot settings. Although I really probably should, and I will try to, but I have had so much going on that I just have not done that. Yeah, the old days when we used to get the personalized, I wonder if they were trying to bring it back. Because I've noticed not all of my farms have the same offers. So some of my baby farms that I don't play on as often, when I go to them now, because they're outside of the 90 days since I made a last purchase, they've got the like $1, $2 diamond purchase on it. So I know that they're playing with some of that because they're like, oh, you haven't have a diamond tester. Let's get you to spend some money again in the game. Come on, you know you want to spend that money and not watch ads. So I'm hoping, because of regulations, they have to ask you about tracking. Because it's additional tracking over what they initially state in the App Store, which is really the big like, it's a big change in privacy and policy law. They have to do that. So that's why they're asking, but I'm hoping that it also means we're getting more personalized things like diamond offers coming back. And I know it's unlikely, but I'm hoping. There's a few things that are coming up that I can't tell you about that I know will get tested randomly as it starts to be in other places. Some things that I know from my work with Apple versus Heyday that could be coming in, and that will affect the game. So I've got some kind of like hope some things will come like that again. And we'll see what happens. But I don't know if it'll fully happen. So I will wait, as I know for sure that some of these potentially would come. Maybe I'll fill you in and see how they go. But I'm holding out hope we're going to get that. And it's up to you if you want to. So for iOS users, it tends to pop up as allowed to track or don't allow. For Android users and Amazon Fire tablets, I believe it pops up from a Supercell additional like accept reject. And I've seen some screenshots if you're on some of the Discords or social media groups, you can see it, but that's what it's asking for, and it's your choice. I cannot tell you exactly, like, this is the information it's going to do. It explicitly does say other games that you are playing. So it's going to want to find out, like, are you playing Merge Mansion? Which is something you can connect with Supercell ID now, even though it's not owned by Supercell. It's a partnership with the company that owns it. They are also the company that bought Everdale, which I'm still waiting to see what they do with that, if it'll ever come back. But it would be nice to see some of those things come back. I hope everybody has been doing their... You still have 3 days, so you can get enough in the Valley. So it's a law that they have to ask those things if they want to. And it's just something that I happen to... I just happen to kind of... I can't guarantee that that's the only things that they're looking for, but that's what they've said. And I know that when I go in, I don't... And when you look at my games, you can see Merge Mansion is there for me. But that's not a Supercell game. So when you go into my games, I don't play things like Clash, but I can see others. I may start playing Clash just to see if I can get my subscription numbers up, but I don't really like... There's enough time to get enough, but my Valley shop has kind of been... Ugh. Like, if you really want permits, yay, but I'm not at a point where I'm like, oh, I need a bunch of permits. I only have one puzzle piece. And I was like, I don't really want puzzle pieces. Or I want the puzzle pieces. I don't really want the permits. So I'm waiting for the ditches to open next because I will buy those. That's how I have most of my dishes. They're it's really good for that. They've definitely tweaked because we don't have as many. We're back. We're not as many of the lucky pig bonuses, and I always save them to the end, just because they fill up my barn so fast. Usually, if I'm lucky, but we won't be here for that. I will record doing them though. They're making the valley just kind of blah, in my opinion. It's already repetitive that it's so easy to play. If I really want to, I could probably go to my baby farms and get the deco in the next 3 days. And the deco is really cute for the end. It is $21.50 right now, and it's $2,100 without the extra 50 from the. So it's not that high. But the Valley Deco is cute. I mean, I think it's fairly good. So, then the 30 diamonds isn't bad. So you can get there. But that is really the only point to playing. The shop hasn't been great. And if you don't like what's in your shop and you can't use it, or you don't have the barn space for it, and the boosters, I believe you have to pay for. I don't ever get them from here. Then it's not worth spending a ton of time on. So it ends though in 3 days, just over 3 days, you guys. So if you want it, make sure you go in there and do it. Do be conscious that as we get closer to the end, you'll start breaking down more. So plan accordingly. You're probably going to want to go in, like twice a day. You're not that new, CJ. You've played long enough, and you're fine. I'm not sure that there's any other official big news that needs to be covered right now. The big thing that was new that I know nobody's really seemed to cover. Oh, I agree. You are completely right. The Chicken Valley is so much harder. They need to change. There's so many ideas for how that could work. Even if they just kept it as the 2, but I'm not hopeful that they'll fully listen. Again, I think there's a lost in translation from. I don't always know where to potentially place the blame, or if there's blame to be placed. I can tell though that there's just a miscommunication, because the end of what we get in production isn't always what we want. And I think part of the reason we got the boosters as close as we did is Gizmo did a really well job on making a mock-up video. My skills for that level of graphics work is nowhere near as well as hers. So even though I have amazing ideas, I don't have the skill to go in and make the boosters look like she does a mock-up, and we have something similar to what she did. And I think seeing what the final product could be like is easier for programmers than having to try to visualize it themselves sometimes. And it's not always the case, but I think there's a lot that's left in wording and descriptions that to be interpreted. So I'm working on trying to get my graphic skills up there, but I'm hoping to have some more concept videos where I can be like, this is my idea and this is what it should look like. But they're just not quite there yet. And maybe I'm my own worst critic when it comes to that, but it takes a lot of effort to make that. And my editing skills for videos is also not very well. I do all my videos that you guys have seen on here that are videos are one take videos. So there's no editing to them because that's not my area. So I am working on trying to learn some of it, and hopefully I'll be able to produce some really cool concept videos for you guys. And the Chicken Valley is one that I think they could do some really amazing things with. Give us random tokens for picking up the chickens. More people will go and be looking for chickens, which means you'll get to the 100. And up how much you're going to give us in the houses. That could be something done. You could even tie like the ability to get tokens outside of the valley if people went in. And the other thing is, don't add your hood in if they don't enter the valley. I think if you enter the valley by touching it here and going into the valley, that's when you should be played. So you have players who actively want to play the valley, which is super important when it comes to a chicken valley. But we don't have that. We have it like there's this many players that are going to be, which is just like a couple of hoods, especially if they're full hoods. And like on my baby farms, I don't enter and I don't play the valley much on them. So they're not going to, that's, a handful of players that aren't playing and collecting and working collectively in the valley. And that's not fair to those other people, and I understand that. But there should be a way to opt that out. And I hope that's something maybe they can work on. Really, really, really. Yeah. Kind of like we do the leadership board that they tried, or the derby. When you become active in there, then you join with other players. So once you enter the valley, if you're joining with so many other people, because that's the time, maybe you're not with your hoodies, and that can make it hard to get your truck fixed, but maybe they can tell like this many of your hoodies do, or there should be a way around that. And it all depends on how they have it programmed on the backside, which is proprietary, and they're not going to tell us. Even, in any of the CCs with like a content creator code, they're unlikely to be able to know like, oh, how did you program that? What does it look like? And a lot of them aren't going to understand because that's not what their background is. And I may not even understand it. I don't know all languages of coding. I only know like 3. And so oh yeah. There are so many shops that we don't even use in here. We don't get asked to go to the pizzeria. Which the pizzeria is only in the valley. Who wouldn't love to have some of these shops? Like, maybe not a house, but Like, even like, who wouldn't want a pizzeria maybe in the town? What? I don't know. It would be, I could see changes. That could be fun. Things that we could offer. Some of these are really cutely designed. Can we not get some of these skins for... This reminds me more of like the cabin in the fishing area. But it'd be really cool for things to have so they can tie. Because some of them do. Like, I had... One of my spin goals the other day was for completing my derby task. What if you don't play the derby? What if that had popped up on a day when the derby wasn't even playing? I mean, that's only like one day a week, but still. What if that had happened? Like, so they have to have smart enough programming to recognize some of those things. I don't know. I'm hopeful though. That's where I'd love to be able to... Aww. Shelly, that's so sweet that that's your son, Peg. Aww. My kids are thankfully sleeping. I'm hoping they'll give us an update on where we're at or when we've hit the donation that we made it. And hopefully some of the other content creators talk about it too. Get the word out there. I know it's not the best event to have it tied to, but really don't have to spend diamonds to help accomplish it. It seems really hey Ian. Oh yeah. They could, but I don't understand why we do. They don't. Ian is fine. He's unfortunately going to hear me wrapping up though, because I do need to try to get some rest if I'm going to make it to Ricky's stream tonight. If you are on and if you're on Ricky's stream, I'll see you there later, hopefully. But I can tell I've been on the screen long enough. My migraine meds are not kicking in as well. So I've covered the main parts, which was the money donation that's being tied to the event. Oh, the other thing I didn't tell everybody, if you guys, they're not on my iPad, but on my phone. They have been testing the zoom in, zoom out feature on the board. So potentially we're going to have more than 3 events going. I don't know why, but that is inevitable. But Ricky will start at 2 a.m. Eastern. So it is late. So hopefully I will get sleep, get this migraine back down to just a mild headache. And I will see you guys there. Thank you guys for watching. Ooh. That would be so cool, Carol. I'd love to hear more about that. That is so cool. All right, you guys. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the update. Make sure to let us know if there's problems or feedback so we can pass that along. Take your time. Just plan out your catalog. And I will see you all next time. Thanks for joining in. Happy farming, y'all.